me. Tell me.
Yeah, sorry. The lights are brighter. All right. Am I good? All right, we'll let Coach make a statement and we'll take some questions.
Good afternoon. I appreciate you all being here. I'm just good coming off a win for sure. Proud of our guys, how they prepared for that game. You know, as we said all week long, keeping them focused on that was definitely a task. I think our coaches did a good job of working that every day, and I think our players did as well. I'm not sure the defense quite believed this early on that was a good team we were playing, and you know, we did not play great there in the first quarter, but credit to them with their response and how we bounced back. And I thought we played more our style the rest of the game. And then offensively, I thought it was tremendous. Good execution of a plan, and to see Deuce get out there and get his first snaps and play like that was pretty amazing. It was awesome. See his teammates rally around him and really respond. So it was good in many ways, a complete team victory. And so that was what we were shooting for. And so now, obviously, we are on to this week. It's the greatest rivalry in college football. It's you know, a game that means a lot to a lot of people down here, and certainly to our team, our coaching staff. So we had a good practice this morning. We're already on to that, and our preparation has started. And we're looking forward to the challenge and the task. They're a really good football team. They're well coached in all three phases. They have playmakers at all spots, and you know, I think their numbers, their stats, their record all speak to that. They definitely perform at a high level, and they've played some tough games and played well in those games. So we know it's a great challenge, and we are looking forward to it.
Jason, Phil, and then Johnny.
DJ, what's this week like for a coach when you have no classes, no students around? It's kind of all football, training camp. What's that like as a coach as you get a team prepared for a big game like this?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to prepare yourself to have pro mindset. I think, you know, you ask the whole locker room, hey, what guys want to go play in the NFL? I think all hands would go up. So, all right, great. You have a chance to be a pro this week and really have the mindset of a pro, which is, you know, to take care of your body, number one. It's late in the season. There's not one guy in there that feels 100%. I mean, you go through an SEC season, you're going to be banged up, but you got extra opportunity now without other things, classes and tutors and everything else going on, to take advantage of the training room and get off your feet and rest and eat right and all those things that we're talking about. So we've really gone through A to Z with them of what that looks like, what that means. Get in here, watch extra film, and it was cool to see their response. Our guys embraced that challenge. Our leadership has done a great job with that, and I think, you know, I just was walking through right now. I mean, you see guys in the building, and I anticipate seeing that all week long.
Yeah, you mentioned banged up. You had a few guys banged up this past week against Mercer. I mean, what's their status? Is anybody right now concerned of not being able this week?
No concerns. We did have a couple guys get banged up in that, but I think everyone will be, you know, good as we work through the week right now.
Hey, DJ, back here. Deuce obviously played phenomenal last week. Just your assessment of him now that you've seen the full tape, and is there any opportunity, rather it be as a starter or a package, where you could foresee him playing quarterback this weekend in this game?
That's a great idea. I think, well, I'll take that back upstairs. We'll see if we can get that done. Deuce showed, I think, to everyone what we see at practice quite often. That's what we expected from him out there. I guess expectation, I don't want to say, I mean, it was really his first time starting, playing, all that. He exceeded expectations, but we know what he's capable of. You know, I think I said after the game, but one of the coolest things about Deuce is just that he's got that demeanor about him where, I mean, at no point did you feel like Deuce was nervous or how's he going to respond or play. It was kind of like he was, you know, Deuce, you're the starter before the game. I mean, he just has the same look about him, and I think that's great as a teammate when your quarterback looks that way. I mean, that just kind of puts a calm in everyone around him, and obviously he performed at a real high level. I mean, he had the big plays, explosives. Everyone saw that, but I think he did a great job of just going through his reads, making the right decisions, kind of operating the offense the right way.
You mentioned the injured guys. What was the nature of Keldrick's injury? And then you're just kind of reiterating on that. Y'all aren't concerned about him being out for Saturday? Yeah, no, Keldrick, he'll be ready to go. He's got dinged up a little bit, and we made a decision at a point in that game where we don't need to keep playing him in that game based on this, you know, the situation.
DJ, just your thoughts on Ty Simpson, their quarterback, and how effective he's been so far this year, and ability to match up with him. What's going to be most important for you guys going up against him?
Yeah, I think he's played at a really high level. And, we're here at the end of the season, so you get a chance to watch the whole menu of all the games. And I think he does a really good job. But he commands that offense. They give you multiple looks and with shifts and motions. And you can tell his eyes are in the right place. He knows where to go with the ball. Rarely is he kind of off cue of what the defense is doing and where to go with it, at least. And he can make all the throws. I mean, you see him, they push the ball down the field. They have a lot of vertical route concepts, and he can get it where it needs to be. He's got good playmakers to throw to, and I think he understands that. And so it's definitely a challenge. It'd be our toughest challenge, I think, of the year.
They've struggled to run the ball this year. However, their receivers, they have 4 or 5 guys that can make plays. From a defensive standpoint, trying to scheme for that, is it sometimes just picking your poison, or does the coverage dictate what they look like offensively?
Yeah, I think, something with them, too, is they probably count a lot of their run game as perimeter screens and quick passes to those receivers. I think they do, they're creative about getting the ball to their playmakers and get it to them fast and let them run with it. So I think that's an extension of the run game. I know it doesn't show up in stats as run game, but that's a big part of it. I think, I don't know. They have very talented backs. I think their offensive line is really good. They're athletic. They do a good job of moving on their stretch and getting on the perimeter. And so you've got to make sure that you can do both, stop the run and defend the pass against them. I don't think it's where they're just a one-dimensional team.
Coach, your defense really found their stride in the second half versus Mercer. Since you've been interim head coach, can you talk about the things you've learned about maybe balancing the big picture stuff with also calling a really good defense and how you plan to do that in the Iron Bowl?
Yeah, I think, it's as we've gotten further and further removed from when it first happened, it's slowed down a little bit for me. It's a lot like anything else when you start something new. So that first week there's a lot of things coming at you to just get set in place, and everyone wants to come talk to you about whatever their area is and in the right way. Like, okay, coach, how do you want this done? What do you want? So it's a lot of conversations, decisions that distract from other things. As we keep getting further and further from that moment, I think things kind of slow down. People, everyone understands in the building of how we want things done, and it allows me to get back more to being the defensive coordinator and going through game plan and making a lot of those decisions.
DJ, having a guy like Ashton who's so experienced, how valuable is that this week, where you has to go from not playing last week to now getting back in here as a starter? How valuable is that experience for him?
Yeah, it's crucial, and I think due to that experience, he took the right approach all last week too. I mean, Ashton was very active in practice at both the offensive field and the defensive field. He came over and played quarterback versus our defense a lot of times. I wanted him to keep the speed of the game going, and he helped our defense. And he was, with those guys, with Deuce, with Jackson, very involved in the game plan. So, I think because of that, he approached it the right way, and he'll be just fine.
Talking about Ashton, I mean, now that you've had some time to look back at it and think about his performance at Vanderbilt, I mean, for a guy to go from the performance he had against Kentucky 1 week later, have the game that he did against Vandy, what do you think was the biggest difference, not only for him, but kind of the way the passing game executed between those two games?
Yeah, I think it was just really like providing him a plan where he have confidence in. We want to build it around him. I felt like his teammates respond well to him, to his leadership, to what he's all about. And it's kind of like, okay, let's really focus on what he does well. Let's focus on who he gets the ball to and make it about that. And I think, credit again to our coaches and to Ashton of executing that. I thought they really did a good job.
When you, as a defensive guy, you don't have a lot of time to look at other defenses, but now as a head coach, what do you, when you see Alabama's defense, what stands out about that group on the other side this week?
The first thing they're active on the ball. They make plays on the ball. They do a good job of takeaways. They do a good job of playing the ball down the field. I think their pass defense is excellent, and I think up front, they're physical. They do a good job of getting the quarterback, affecting the quarterback with four, and so I think they're very active about it. We got to do a great job protecting the football, making good decisions with the ball, and sustaining drives that way.
It seemed like the running back struggled to get going a little bit against Mercer. I guess, what did you guys see there when watching the film, and I guess how important will the running game be on Saturday?
Run game will be critical. We need to establish a run game, and that's a thing for us that we feel we always need to do. That gives you an advantage in the game. I feel like our running backs will be ready to go and have a good plan for them. I think obviously Deuce had a lot of the rush yards in that game, and some of that was designed that way, some of it wasn't. I mean, there was definitely design runs to Deuce. There was also plays where it just the look wasn't what he wanted, and he took off and ran and did a great job with it. And I think the game just kind of went that way based on the style of defense they were playing.
Coach, after the Vanderbilt game, you in the locker room, you mentioned that everyone in the country was calling your players, and you praised their focus in the midst of that turmoil. How focused is the team headed into the Iron Bowl, and where do you stand in that standpoint? Yeah,
I mean, I think that reached an all-time high probably last week with the contact and distractions. I think this week I would hope, I really believe our guys are going to be totally locked into the task at hand. And that's certainly the challenge. And all we do, we talk about it every day. We address it every day, and we hit it head on with them. And it is what it is. It's the environment we're in. There's nothing, you're going to do to stop that. So it's just let's address it and get their minds in the right place. And I do feel like it starts with leadership. And I think our leaders and our team are tremendous, and they will have challenged their teammates and everyone to stay where your feet are, stay locked in, and we're part of something bigger than ourselves, and we're gonna be accountable to that.
TJ, coaches have different ways of pushing buttons and motivating their group. But a week like this, is the message more motivation-wise, hey, let's play a bowl game, keep this thing going, or hey, we can spoil our biggest rival season?
The message is to go 1-0. Every week, our whole goal is to go 1-0. It's a fight. It's a challenge every week. Today was a Monday, and there's things we do on a Monday to help us get to 1-0. And it's about your preparation. You don't just get excited on Saturday to go win a game. It's the preparation. So I think it's important to keep our guys in a routine. They know what a Monday looks like. They know what a Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. And that's it. And that's, as coaches, we're the same way. You got to just get your head down and work on and get the things done you're supposed to get done on each day.
DJ, on Ty Simpson again, just how important is it going to be to put pressure on him? He seems like quarterback, when he's not pressured, he can really pick apart a defense.
Yeah, I think, probably like when you start talking about guys that are very effective at the quarterback position, you've got to be multiple in what you do. I don't think it's any one thing. I think if you let them get in a rhythm of what it is you're doing, whether it's, type of coverage or pressure or not, or, 3-man, 4-man, 5-man rush, whatever it is, right, they'll figure that rhythm out and know where to go with the ball and beat you on it. So to me, it's being multiple in what you do.
In these rivalry type games, obviously you expect close games. How important is it to have a guy like Alex? Obviously the way he's kicking the football, his confidence right now, to have that confidence in the kicking game, how big of a deal is that going into Saturday?
Yeah, man, it's critical. I think, his teammates, coaches all have confidence in him, and you get to a certain spot on the field, and you feel good about knowing we got 3 here, and it helps your play calling too to know, okay, let's be smart and let's understand, we don't take any crazy chances here. We got points right now, and obviously you want to get more, you want to get 7. We're going to have to convert in the red zone touchdowns, but to have that is huge.
You saw Sylvester ejected, last week for targeting. He's going to miss the first half of this game. How important is it for some other guys to step up, and who are you looking to step up?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going through the reps today at practice. You got to manage those reps now and understand, all right, well, what's he doing during the first half? What's he doing at halftime to get him ready to play and go through all that? Obviously feel for him because it's a game so important for him personally, but I mean, he'll still get to play in it. And, I thought that hit was close. It was kind of bang, bang. I see why it was called. I think he can do a better job keeping his head out of it. But, I've also seen worse not called too. But so that we'll plan on that. We've rotated, played a lot of guys on defense. So it's not any tremendously new faces. It's going to be guys that have already been playing. I think the number's like 20. It's either 25 or 26 to 31 guys in every game we've played on defense, and excluding the last game, we were up near 40 guys on defense that game. So, we've played a lot for all these reasons, whether it's an injury or, a guy gets ejected from the game for targeting or whatever it might be. It's like you got to have the next guy ready to go and not have a drop-off, and I feel very good about that based on the experience our guys have.
DJ, with your upbringing in Ohio and then coaching at Michigan as well. I feel like you probably have an understanding of that rivalry. What makes you say that Auburn, Alabama is the best, and what have you kind of come to know about this rivalry being here a couple years?
I mean, this rivalry runs deep, and it's interstate, and it's you know, the history of it, and the game being played in Birmingham, and then finally moved here, and obviously with some of the things that have gone on over the past. I mean, we did spent some time this morning in team meeting just educating our guys on it. We have other guys from all over, and some guys new to the team, transfers that don't, you know, it's not the old days where you got freshmen that've been on the roster for 5 years and understand all that. So I thought it was big we spent time on that today and just educate our guys a little bit about the rivalry, and it is. I mean, it's what I don't care where you live or where you're from, you know about the Iron Bowl, and certainly, you know, to this area, there's nothing bigger.
Coach, it's been an up and down season for the secondary this year. What's kind of been the conversations this week with the coaches, you know, to ensure a positive performance against Bama's elite receivers?
I mean, there's no different conversation than any other week. We're going to prepare it the same way, and we take on every challenge and evaluate their guys, and, you know, break down their personnel and what they do, and so that's how we do it. Our guys, we got veterans back there that have played really well for us, so they'll respond the right way.
Coach, just to wrap up, could you talk about what a win in this game would mean to you, knowing the weight of the rivalry and this being a team that you took over and they seem to believe in you?
You know, our whole goal as a team is to go 1-0, and that's it. So we're focused on that one day at a time. I mean, I think for our team it'd be a tremendous thing for our guys to come together and go accomplish that together. And you know, that's. Our guys are so far, we're one day in, they prepared the right way today. So then we're going to go tomorrow and make sure we check that box. We got the right Tuesday done, and just take it one day at a time. And I think, you know, when you do it that way, handle it that way, I think more often than not you get the results that you want. Okay, thank you guys.